Leland Murray.
Jason Vanderveen.
Sean Ward.
Include our fire marshal
Joel.
today.
Joel Nielsen.
Thanks. And Scott Fisher, I have not heard from, so hopefully he shows up by 11. We'll see. Any public comment or?
No.
All right. So we'll go ahead and open the Volunteer Pension Board meeting. We have the approval of the May 20 minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, moving second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Chief, we have a rehire approval.
Yes, Mr. Mel Mulligan, a longtime 30-year tender group person, retired, had to spend 3 months mandatory in retirement and has now been rehired. So we follow all the state rules. He's passed his medical physical and he's ready to return to active service.
Nice. All right, so we need a motion to add him back to the volunteer roster.
Yes, sir.
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Appreciate him returning and coming back to help us out. So all in favor? It's unanimous. Anything else for the volunteer pension?
Sir.
All right, so we'll go ahead and close that meeting and we'll open the regular Board of Commissioner meeting at 10:04 a.m. The consent agenda is our first item of business. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? I assume we are going to have a bigger report from the fire marshal, deputy fire marshal.
Yes,
It's not on the agenda per se, but
bigger or more detailed in one aspect. I know that there's some questions about growth and
so can we put that under new business
I
then?
was going to say we could put it under new business.
Appreciate the long list of developments that were in your report, but without getting maybe a little more detail, that I think it's important for the board to understand how much is actually going on in the district and how that's impacting our ability to provide service. So that will be helpful. Is there any other discussion on the consent agenda before I read the numbers in? Comments, questions, issues? Total revenue for May, $1,890,000, $890 and $21.39. The total expenditures for June was $1,501,135 and 1 cent. And I'm assuming that's because of the capital projects apparatus.
Correct. Yep.
That bumped that up. Direct deposit payroll, $347,911.51. Payroll taxes, $75,646.98. Benefits vouchers, $198,127.45. Monthly expenditure voucher, $97,407.07. And then capital projects apparatus, $782,042. And that was for the tenders, correct? All right. So, all in favor of the consent agenda?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Commissioner meeting reports. Anyone? Anything? We had our joint workshop, which we'll talk about. I already think I spoke at our last meeting about my meeting with Margot.
Mhm.
Did we update our website?
We're
We're currently working on that.
Okay, that was a question she
That will be
had asked.
We're in the mid stages of that. We've got layout plan's already done, and we're adding data at this point now, so.
I was gonna ask you that too, I saw that expenditure.
She has offered to review some of that. If you need someone to just put eyes on it. And I think,
So far, we have had a review, kind of what the page layout is. And
Okay.
she gave it a thumbs up. So
okay,
when we get to the next spot where there's a review, we'll add her in there.
all right, good. She's kind of ready, willing, and able to help us out with that, and actually has offered to assist with the website posting information if that could be coordinated and maybe take the load off of Jenny if she so chooses. No meetings?
No meetings.
No meetings? No meetings? Jeez, am I the only one that gets to go to all these good meetings? I had another meeting with a citizen from the Simiamu community. He's new to the area and expressed some concerns about an unstaffed fire station in that neighborhood and is actually willing to maybe help us try to figure out how to make that happen. So it's nice that they weren't just complaining, that they were offering some sort of help. So didn't write a check, but
Was this one that's included in the correspondence, or is this a different person?
different.
Okay.
All right. Legal issues. Anything on the legal front?
Mr. Davis isn't here, but I have put out queries to Mr. Davis, waiting to hear back from some other people in his office about what happens if, currently we do sign the will serve letters for development in the district. And I know I've had a couple of commissioners express kind of the what if we don't do that anymore, what happens. So the bottom line is he said we should expect lawsuits, but he didn't have a further answer beyond that. So I'm waiting. I assume it's Mr. Schmelik that's actually the kind of the subject matter expert there that I'm waiting to hear back from.
So we could suggest that we don't approve a development based on our inability to provide service, but it would come back as a lawsuit on us, even though
That's
we're
what he speculated. You know how attorneys are careful how they word things.
sure.
So this sounds like that's a high likelihood.
It might be a matter of rewording.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure Lieutenant Nielsen will hopefully enlighten us under new business a little bit more about all the development and the implications of that. Local 106.
Thank you. Yeah, we have been kind of busy. Obviously, call volumes. We had the workshop that you'll talk about with Bellingham District Board Commissioners, so that seemed like that was a positive. We are pre-scheduling out July overtimes as well. As we did June, there was like 105 shifts that needed to be filled, so and most of them got filled. So I want to give a thank you to everyone that signed up. We did just recently lose 4 people to a couple different departments, so that's increased our openings. Sounds like we're hiring, so hopefully we'll get some good candidates and have some new members on the floor real soon.
All right. Thank you for your patience while we work through the hiring process. And
How long before we get some boots on the grounds here, Chief?
We close tomorrow. And lateral applicants, we're going to do an accelerated hiring process if we decide to hire them. And then we should have, the goal is to have job offers out by July 31st. And the academy, we have 4 spots reserved at North Bend for 4 brand new FTEs. And that starts, I think, the 11th of August.
Around the first week of August, first or second week of August.
So
So it'll be,
It's not, there's no immediate fix.
yeah,
There's
it'll be
no,
December, January before.
That's understandable.
so.
All right. Welcome, Scott.
Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay. That's all right. All right, unfinished business, District 4 annexation.
Commissioner Land from District 4 and I met with the mayor of Bellingham, their finance committee, and Chief Hewitt. It was a good meeting. We met for an hour. We got out of it what I expected to, which was City of Bellingham's going to have some internal discussions about, I'll use the words, the problem they've kind of created through annexation. The mayor definitely understands and appears to be sympathetic to the plight of District 4. He understood, and the members of the finance committee certainly understood that while the first year District 4 may not lose any money because taxes keep up, right? It just means that everybody else's, so if their levy rate's 74, their fire levy rate's 74 cents today, if the city of Bellingham annexes 25% of their AV, everybody else's levy rate just bumps to $1.50 or $1.48. The problem is that the district has no AV left to essentially tax to raise enough money. And when we put the Chief Hewitt was very helpful in the meeting. He put up the historical annexations map so the mayor could see when these had happened. That was weird.
Apologize.
So the mayor could actually see when these annexations had happened. The mayor was kind of surprised. I don't think he actually said, wow, that's a cool map. So I don't think he'd seen it before. And I did point out that Chief Hewitt and I didn't offer any true solutions. We said it's something that would have to be studied and looked at. But I did point out that, right now Station 12 is running about, roughly 50% of its calls in the city. And I don't have the number for 69, but I bet it's above 10%, maybe as high as 20%, which tells me, I said to the mayor, it appears you're understaffed and understationed. So we both have a problem that we need to solve. And it appears based on the location of stations that we're natural partners, but we've learned through this 10-year engagement without getting married to District 4 that those are not sustainable. Because the city's going to continue to eat, change their UGA, and continue to eat, and that leaves us out in the cold. And it needs to be equitable, because you can't have a city on one side of the street and a fire district on the other side of the street having completely different levels of service. Not when citizens think they're in the city. So they're going to have an internal discussion, give Chief Hewitt some marching orders, and then he and I will start working on solutions. He was very interested in how long District 21 was willing to help out District 4, I guess. He was a little bit surprised and seemed to ramp up his internal time schedule when I told him we have a current contract through the end of 2022, and the District 4 or District 21 board has entertained the idea of 2 6-month extensions for District 4. So he's like, wow, we're working on a timeline here. Okay. So.
Yeah, none of us want to see that service decline to the District 4 citizens. But every time we extend a timeline out, it seems like that becomes the new place to start thinking about when something needs to be done. And so your idea to say, okay, if we go past December of this year, rather than renewing it for a year, maybe 6 months at a time, is a little more conducive to them trying to solve the problem. So
And it prevents kicking the can down the road when you
Yep.
actually give a timeline like you did. So that was wise.
So I'll wait to hear back from Chief Hewitt, and we'll, I expect he was kind of surprised, I think, by the kind of the immediacy of the problem. The mayor was.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
EMS levy BLS funding was approved by the county. We just don't know how to get the money.
Right. That's correct. We've not received any instructions yet from the county. Total coming to District 4, District 21 is about $750,000. It's about 150 to District 7 or District 4. The balance coming to District 21. And that, as far as the EMS levy goes, now that we finally have a final draft, they told us edition 7 was the final draft, and now they're on edition 10. I would like to ask the board if we could put that in our next board packet and have the board maybe do a resolution to endorse the EMS levy as a board, just as a sign of support, if you so choose.
Can we just get the highlights instead of the 54 pages? that
Yes,
it's
sir.
got now?
What I will do is I
Executive
will
summary.
we will glean the ALS and BLS highlights out of it. How's that? And we'll put that in the next board packet, and then if the chair is okay with it, I think that would be a good sign of support.
Yeah, I think I'm on version 8 right now, so I haven't
I have
seen
10. I'll send it
to you. Yeah, I mean, our support, I think, is important and part of what we did in the discussion of freeing up some of this BLS funding was to say, we probably won't support it if you don't free that money up. And now that they have freed it up, as long as we figure out how we can get it, I think we owe it to them in good faith to say, thank you very much. And we will support it.
And one of the big highlights of the new EMS levy, or the current one, is that it continues that BLS funding support through the entirety of the levy. So, and actually it's actually more support than this even one-time. This
Over the
one-time
6 years.
funds it's a nice slug of money, but this would start at 1.5 million dispersed to all the districts, which would be about $170,000 starting to District 21. And I want to say I think it's like 50 or 60 to District 4. But over the 6 years, that adds up to more than just the one-time disbursement that they're going to supposedly make now. But that has passed county council. And I would like to thank Commissioner Ansel for sitting through 2 really boring meetings. The day of approval, I was at the Chiefs conference, and me and the other Chiefs weren't able to make the meetings. So, but thank you very much for taking the time.
It did convince me that I would never want to be a council member.
Glad to have you here.
Those are brutal. All right, thank you. Any other unfinished business? New business. We have resolution 2022-06, establishing a district financial investment officer alternate. You have seen that. I will entertain a motion to approve that resolution.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Chief, this is just backup in case.
This is a backup to me if I'm not able to. And what this allows Chief Ward to do in my absence is to move money between accounts.
Can't spend it, he can only move it.
You're still the ones that allow it to be spent, even by me. This just allows him to move it between our what I call cash accounts and investment accounts for investment interest, basically. If I was
day-to-day operations.
or day-to-day operations, but it's a slow, grueling process to move money in government, and it needs a signature. And if I was not able to provide that signature, and you needed to pay the staff, say I was gone for whatever reason over a month, you needed to pay the staff, someone's going to have to approve the moving of money. and we don't currently have an alternate. And one thing we found with previous administration leaving, we had no alternates to anything, and it required a ton of staff time to sort out. So,
Fair enough. Appreciate that. Any other comments? All in favor? It's unanimous. And then we have a consulting agreement. We have contract negotiations upcoming this year with the local 106. And we have had contact and discussions with retired Chief Dave Ralston, and he has agreed to enter into a contractual agreement for negotiations and other related consulting. And you guys have seen that contract. So I need a motion to approve that consulting agreement contract.
Moved.
Any discussion? I'm assuming this is just something that you can sign, Chief? Is that your preference?
I can. Yeah, I'm happy
Alright.
to. That's what I'm here for.
All right, so we will add to the motion that the chief sign that contract and we get it out to Mr. Ralston to review and sign. Did he get a draft of that yet? I think we,
I believe he did.
okay. He and I talked about
I'll
it on the
double check.
phone. I mean, I told him what it was going to be and he had no problem with it, so you can give him the signed copy and see if he'll sign it. All right, all in favor of the motion to enter into consulting agreement with Dave Ralston? Unanimous, thank you. Recruitment and retention. Chief, you have a proposal for us.
Yeah, we're all acutely aware that recruitment and retention has become a hot issue for us over the past 60 days. It's been coming. It's been, it's kind of been looming. We have lost 4 firefighters to agencies in King County, King and Northern Snohomish County, or Southern Snohomish County. We received another letter this week from another firefighter that's just made us aware that he's got a conditional offer from another one of those agencies. We are currently open, hoping to hire. We have 111 applicants, and while that sounds great, if you were to look at the number of agencies that are open and testing, these are just people that sent us their application. There are about 75% of National Testing Network, which tests for almost every department in the state of Washington, both east and west side. They're all open right now, and people are offering signing bonuses, and it's just nuts. The labor talked about the number of openings we've had for overtime. We are running our people ragged. Everybody's also pretty acutely aware, if you've left the house and either got gas or groceries lately, that the cost of living is skyrocketing beyond anything we would ever be able to keep up with. We're in a contract year, and just looking at the April CPI, it's 9.1%. We won't get the numbers for June until next month, but it doesn't appear to be getting any better. I spoke to each of you individually, showed you some numbers. What I'm proposing is an immediate, starting July 1st, 6% wage increase for all members of the bargaining unit as well as administrative staff to help plug the gap, to try to stop some of the bleeding of people looking elsewhere. It fits within our budget of what it's actually less, believe it or not, than what our proposed budget was for operations because of the number of people we've lost. This does allow for the hiring of 6 FTEs, is included in the numbers that I showed you. We have the funds, and frankly, they're doing the work. We owe it to them to pay them a fair wage, and Commissioner Ansel and I have looked and scoured and feel, I can only speak for myself, I feel very comfortable in doing this. It is sustainable in the long term. It is sustainable with the revenue we have. With BLS transport revenue, it's where we need to go. And I humbly ask that you would approve this immediate wage increase.
Comments? I'll start to my right.
Do the best we can. You know, it's definitely well deserved.
Scott? John?
I don't want to see anybody else leave.
Really?
I totally agree as well. We, like you said, the number of overtime hours, and we need to keep them and compensate them and for all their hard work and effort.
I agree. So, you know, we have been in discussions with the local for a long time about COVID and how to manage that issue and what the impact has been. And unfortunately, we were never able to come to an agreement, which I'm sure those issues will get addressed in upcoming contract negotiations. But it's from my perspective and going out in the community and talking to people, they all appreciate what we're doing. They just don't understand that there's a cost to it. And that somehow magically when they pay their property taxes, we get all that money and take care of everybody. I had the opportunity to get on my soapbox at the Inverness development meeting and shared that not only are we running a significant amount of concurrent calls, but that our personnel are kind of woefully underpaid compared to who's working around us. And I received some very positive feedback from some of those community members that were sort of appalled that our members were not being paid as well as other jurisdictions. So I think the support is there, and it's our job to help the community understand where we are. This is the first time in my knowledge that a fire department has offered a mid-contract wage increase without some sort of knockdown drag. And it's never happened. So we're in interesting times here, and the economy has done something that nobody could have predicted. And I just hate seeing people leave, because I really think that eventually this is going to be the best place to work. And I just hope that we can hang on to people and have them keep doing that.
Well, it's untrue. We've never been in this kind of position before. And this is not going to be the first time we're going to be faced with this, because we're surrounded by departments that are paying so much more and offering so much more. It puts us at a disadvantage because we're in this box of our budget that we can't seem to get out of. And so, I mean, we just have to do the very best we can. But I'm with John. I don't want to see anybody else leave. And it's a tough road.
We have exceptional people, and we've been working really, really hard to cultivate them and to hire them. And I do look at them as family, and I want to see them stay. I don't want them to go.
Yeah, and so, obviously the biggest question for us as a board is can we sustain this? And we're entering into territory where this isn't just tax dollars. This is other revenues that are subject to change. I mean, I don't think our BLS transports are going to go down, but that's still something that can change. And GEMT money is something that could go away in a heartbeat, although all the powers to be at the county, et cetera, for the ALS funding model are saying that it's going to last through the next levy cycle. But that's just one vote away from a group of politicians saying they don't want to pay that anymore. So, it's our job to figure out where the money comes from and how to pay for that. And I just think the public needs to understand what it costs to run a fire department. And at some point, it gets really painful, as we saw in the letter from the citizen that saw their homeowner's insurance go up 400% because they closed down an unused fire station. So I think Weiser Lake is going to see that same thing happen here when we get re-evaluated. But anyway, the request to increase all of the work group by 6%, I think is fair and reasonable, and I hope this helps demonstrate to the work group that we are committed to them and appreciate what they've done. And I mean, this goes back to before COVID, but all the crap they had to go through for COVID, and that they were 100% vaccinated, and they're working the extra overtime. Yeah, they deserve it. So thank you for presenting this, and thank you for running the budget numbers to demonstrate that we can afford it. And we'll go on from there. So with that said, all in favor? Yeah, and I guess I would like to do this by a roll call vote. So Commissioner Fisher,
Aye.
Commissioner Bosman,
Aye.
Commissioner Crawford,
Aye.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes, aye.
and that's a yes for me. So it is unanimous.
Thank you. In addition to that, we also have a dedicated group of volunteers, a tender group. Things have changed for them as well. Fuel costs are astronomical. They've all stepped up and got smartphones on their own in order to use kind of the multitude of, because the communication system in North Whatcom County is kind of pretty much failing, especially when it comes to paging out. They're using multiple smart apps on their phones to make sure that they get the calls. We provide them pagers, but unfortunately the pager and radio systems it's fallen apart. We have $40,000 set aside in a volunteer fund. It's their money. Commissioner Ansel and I talked about it, and I'd like to ask for a one-time $500 per active member disbursement to them to help pay to offset some of the cost of fuel and the phones. They've all upgraded most of them have upgraded their phones to a smartphone. Most of those folks are not they're not heavy data users, so they've had to go from the flip phone to the smartphone.
How many members are there?
That's it.
21.
21. Yeah.
Yeah, 21.
Yep.
$10,000 out of the volunteer reserve fund.
Those are their funds. That's why you've never seen the district spend any of it. That's money they brought in when they were volunteer associations, when the district all came together. The story I've been told is that the district couldn't just leave it sitting out there, so it stuck it in its budget, and it's just grown, which is nice. But they're actually really kind of their firefighters, so their volunteer firefighter association funds.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing a heck of a job as well, to help support and like you said, when we talked about potentially buying phones and doing different things, and I think we've consulted with our attorney and talked to him about doing this, and there weren't any objections. So I will entertain a motion to approve the chief's request for a $500 one-time stipend to all active volunteer support personnel to help compensate them for the additional fuel and phone expenses that they are incurring right now.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right, new business. Our deputy fire marshal has provided us with a spreadsheet or a list of ongoing residential development. And I guess I'd like to turn it over to you and just enlighten us on what that means to all of us.
Okay, well, a lot of these projects were started, well, not a lot of them, a few of these projects started back prior to the 2008, the stock market crash and everything kind of froze up. And they've just been sitting on the books. Some of these have traded hands several times, and now these developers have seen an opportunity to actually start proceeding with these projects and for profit. Grandis Pond is one that's been on the books for probably the longest. It's located the farthest to the east of the new Blaine city limits. So what they call East Blaine, starting roughly around Allen Street, heading all the way over past Valley View Road. So the city limits end. East Maple Ridge is active now. They've already got about a dozen homes in. They've got several phases they're working on. They're finishing up phase 1 right now, working on phase 2. Some of these homes here, the 452, are fourplexes. So they're trying to put in some more affordable housing, you might say. If you look on the year column, that's just kind of a rough estimate on when some of these will be like midway through the construction. So some of these are out quite a ways. Like the 880 Harborview, that was kind of a new project, just came out this year. They're just in the very beginning stages of that one. That's going to be a big one as far as impacting the Birch Bay Station.
Where is that one at?
8080 Harborview. It's right across the street from the water slides.
Okay.
It's a trailer park there currently that only about a third of the land is being used for residents. There's a lot of open areas there, and they plan on filling that entire thing. It's going to be a high density area.
Where the church is? The church in that grass area?
Behind the church,
Okay,
yes.
wow.
Yeah, behind the church.
Joel, those are going to be park models, correct? Is that their?
No, that's a different one. That's
Okay.
the 4672.
Okay.
The Baywood Park.
Yep.
They're changing in Ponderosa. They're getting rid of all the old mobile homes that are in there. Bringing in all new park model. They're going to try to make it more like Latitude 49.
That's the one by the go-karts?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw their new sign.
Yeah. So even though it says 127, the number of residents in that park has been very low for the last few years. And they're trying to switch it over and bring it back up to the full amount. I think the original amount is 125, and they're going to add a couple more onto it. The total of 127. Highlands of San Miami, that's a large project. That's an interesting one there because part of that is in the city and majority of it, I guess, in the county. The city and the county are trying to work together on trying to figure out, what they're going to require code-wise, for each one, because there's differences between the city and the county as far as, the restrictions they have, and they're trying to figure out how to make it fair for the entire project.
Is that one still moving forward? Because I sort of heard rumors at the Inverness meeting that they maybe didn't have their ducks in a row very well yet.
As far as I know, they're still working on it. They're
Okay.
coming up with another plan, the last I heard,
Okay.
but that's been a couple of months, so you might have more.
Well,
updated information on that.
I was just, one of the real estate agents was commenting that they felt that they weren't quite ready to move on that one.
Okay, well,
But, you know,
mark that one off.
well, I wouldn't mark it up, but.
Yeah, so, if you look at the grand total, the bottom, 3,236, and these are not all the projects, these are only the projects that are, have been I've been actively working on for the last several months. But if you were to figure out the average per household residence, being about 2.5, that would be an increase of 8,090 residents in the Blaine and Birch Bay area, an increase. You can see the population currently in Birch Bay is 10,000 roughly. By the 2020 census, and Blaine was 5,800. So that's a significant increase.
Build it and they will come.
Yeah. So then that leads to our legal question of, at what point can the fire district say we can't service this anymore?
Yeah, I don't have those numbers.
I mean, as far as your role goes, it's reviewing the plats and the plans and
Yes.
making sure there's proper egress and ingress and
Yeah.
whatever else is required by.
Fire flow, whether or not the buildings need sprinklers or alarm systems.
Okay. So I'm assuming that most of these are on a water system and have hydrants, or,
The East Blaine, the Maple Ridge development, they're working on phase 2 out of, I think, 5 right now. And they're building the infrastructure as they're putting in roads and water, sewer, they're increasing it. But there is an issue right now with the city that they can't really go much past the East Maple Ridge, and there's 2 more developments beyond that they're planning. They don't have enough water for those developments currently. And they're also having to redo some of their sewer system, because they have a major pipe that runs through the city that is settled, and so there's a dip in it, and they've been having problems with it. So they have to redo that for several $1 million. So that's their priority right now.
so is the city saying no to some of this development because of lack of water and sewer supply? Or are they just saying, no, let's go, we got the money?
Just had a meeting yesterday at Public Works, and the Grandest Pond was kind of the topic of discussion. And the city is saying today they do not have the water for that development, but they're planning on drilling new wells within a year to year and a half, and then installing new tanks. They're trying to figure out where to find the funding, because the sewer project is really eating into their budget.
But they're building today.
They're building at East Maple Ridge, yes. They have enough water for that.
Got it.
It's the
Okay,
next 2
okay, so
developments.
Grandest Pond, they have not issued permits yet. Okay.
Do they have any discussion with the infrastructure of accessibility? I mean, you look at Semi-Alma Parkway and Harborview and Drayton Harbor and that, and even just going over the Wonder Bridge, that we've been trying to get replaced for years. One train stop there will back traffic all the way up past Fleet Road. Has there been any discussion as to, putting a
Traffic
couple more,
impacts.
2,000 more people in that area? And I mean, you have Birch Bay Linden Road backed up all the way to Harborview every day.
So for the East Maple projects, or excuse me, the East Blaine developments, they do have a major parkway that goes through the middle of it, kind of meanders. It's going to be similar to Semi-Alma Parkway. They're trying to model it after that. And then there'll be collectors that go from the parkway down to H Street.
Are they building up H Street for curbs and gutters and widening that to
Not current.
give, let's just put it in there and say it's
The other
there.
thing
And
is for the residents living in East Blaine to use the parkway.
I think that also has a tremendous impact on our ability to not only respond, but provide service, because that's going to increase, traffic and motor vehicle accidents and pedestrian accidents along those areas. And if there's no infrastructure built up there, it's another one of those reasons that, you spoke, Commissioner Ansel, about having some sort of legal component that says we can't provide the service. Unfortunately, so.
Yeah, my sense at the Inverness development meeting was the two representatives from the city of Blaine took a beating by the community for lack of maybe foresight in providing roads and services. I mean, police and fire weren't even on the list. So I'm concerned that if we're running 40% concurrent calls right now with existing development, and we add another 7,000 people, 3,200 homes or residences, and we don't improve traffic or bridge safety or or anything else, I mean, at what point do you get to say no? I think we need to be able to answer that question.
Right. Well, and that's,
I hate to be the bad guy, but no one else is.
Unfortunately, you're going to be one of those citizens that's directly impacted by some of that rapid growth in the area. And I mean, for you right now, a trip to Bellingham is a quick scoot down BBL, where in the future it could be, a 4-hour wait. And we've seen an hour wait at the train tracks.
I prefer to go the back way and take a chance on a train.
well, and unfortunately we've had, we've had experience with a train derailment, and, I don't want to sound like an alarmist, but we actually did see what happened when BBL was shut down for almost 6 months.
Right.
The impact that had, it had an impact on our operation. It had an impact on transports to the hospital. It had, then we added inclement weather. We added a freeze and, snow and all that good stuff. And so if we were to have, the perfect storm of, the intersection of BBL and Portal out of service for 6 months, it's, the Semiahmoo area is Birch Bay and Semiahmoo is an island at that point. And how, we still need to provide our service and be able to get and not just get people to the hospital, but we need to get people to work. How are our folks going to get to work, and what's the impact on that? And so I do think that there's some questions, and we may have to press Mr. Davis or the attorney's office. We may want to be more aggressive than they want us to be. I guess we just need to be eyes wide open as far as what the implications of that could be. If I remember correctly, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to open this mitigation fees and all these things up, and here we are talking about spending more money to shut it down. So,
Yeah,
I know things work in cycles. So
yeah, and I mean, now with the economy doing what it's doing, and the interest rates going up, how many of these construction projects are going to?
is the problem going to take care of itself?
Yeah.
Or at least push itself back a ways.
Uh,
But this is also going to impact our ability, if we're going to do a 2023 or early 2024 levy raise, the economy is going to do the same thing.
Right. Yeah, it's,
Although
all we all need is money, right?
I did give Jenny kind of a hard time because she didn't include the Birch Bay is one of the greatest tax places to retire. If in the Northern Light, they had an article about how.
I don't know. I might argue that. I think it's that great.
So quickly, just on access, we mentioned the Bell Road train crossing.
Mhm.
The border protection agency. Anyway, they do have a new X-ray machine that is sitting at the border currently, waiting to be installed. And they're planning on putting that right next to Peace Arch crossing. So they're going to move farther north, and it's supposed to speed up the train and not. So it's supposed to do the X-rays in about 1/3 or 1/4 of the time, so they can speed the train up 4 times faster to get through.
So it will slow down before Bell Road rather than after Bell Road, which it currently does.
It'll be right up at the border, and so one, it's gonna be faster,
Mhm.
and two, it's farther away from Bell, so it shouldn't affect it as much.
Well, then
The
it
train will be
affects
accelerating as it's leaving.
Marine Drive.
Well, no, it should be because they only scan going north, don't they?
No, south.
That's what I mean. Only
Yeah,
scan
so I
going
mean,
south.
so if it's heading south, it's gonna affect Marine Drive for a period too. So even though it's 4 times faster, you still run the risk of not having, because that's a one way in, one way out harbor. So, so no matter what we do, we're catch-22 situation in that.
Less impact on the overall traffic though, because the numbers at Marine is a lot lower than.
That's true.
How one of those boats catches on fire.
Oh, why'd you have to say it? I was thinking it, but why'd you say it?
I don't know. It just came to mind. Oh, maybe they can buy us a fireboat then while we're at it.
Lincoln Northern will be paying.
Anyway, all right. Okay. So I guess, do you have any issues or concerns or requests from the board that might assist you in managing this project?
Not that I can think of. I'm just processing the paperwork as it comes in, and like I said, doing the pre-plans, making sure that, access, that's primarily what I've been doing. And just keeping track of some of the numbers, which are a little concerning.
Right.
I think the next step is to find out from the attorneys what the impact would be if we were to say no more, and then the board would have a decision to make, and maybe get Joel's input on where we're at. If that takes a good 3 months to actually figure out what the impact could actually be, then we'll have some more time in this weird economy to see how our projects progressing. Are they not progressing? Has construction picked up? Has it slowed down? And
Would it be useful for us to come out with a statement or position that we could send to the county and the city stating our concerns? I mean, we're not really directly communicating with the city per se, other than, the permitting process, but for the fire district to just make sure that maybe we get on record stating our concerns for our ability to provide that service. I mean, if the voters don't support a levy lid lift, we can't develop anymore. And maybe that's the message the community needs to hear. Although a lot of them would probably say that I'm going to vote no so they don't bring in any more houses. But I think, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm worried. I'm concerned for all the infrastructure.
I'm also, we haven't even talked the other side of things, the blue line and law enforcement. You know, what's their take on this rapid growth as well? Because it affects them as, you know, we well know that the county oftentimes is 3 or 4 deputies at night for the entire county, and Blaine PD is 1 or 2, and they rely on, you know, Customs Border Patrol, which they do a great job, but, you know, again, it's that infrastructure that is part of it's being ignored.
Anyway, I'd be happy to help come up with a letter if the board thinks that's
And the
something.
letter
we
would
should
be
do.
addressed to,
The county council and executive, and then the Blaine council and mayor.
I think it'd be a good idea, just as a heads up, this is what we see coming down the road. And we, unless something changes, we don't see how we can service it.
Yeah, because I don't think they're thinking that about the services that are needed.
It'd be nice to have that letter on file, that we were concerned.
Right.
If something bad happens later.
Yeah.
They can't say we had our head in the sand. Hey, we saw this coming.
Always better to be proactive than reactive.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So-
the bright side is you could probably go to another meeting.
Why didn't I think of that? All right, so Chief, I can work with you and Jenny, because she's such a great letter writer.
I'll watch.
I'm gonna be gone for, in a week, I'll be gone for a week or so.
Oh, that's not a problem.
See you before you.
Computer with you.
Yeah, we can Zoom.
Safe taking a computer with you, Ken.
I'll watch for it on their agenda. Comes up on their
Yeah, I
meeting agendas.
I mean, I think if you're gonna represent us to the council, I think it wouldn't hurt for you to be having those discussions.
Mhm.
And just saying, we've got huge concerns, and, you know, I mean, you're looking at sewer and water and roads, but
Some of
we're
these are
looking at
Some of these are right around
public
the corner.
safety. Well, I, yes and no. I mean, I still think that the brakes are gonna get put on some of these. You know, they're full speed ahead, and for example, I think when Highlands came out, I mean, they basically said, you know, we're gonna start building in July or something, and they don't even have a road yet. So,
Brandis Pond, they're planning on breaking ground next fall, so about a year and a half.
And
A few months.
how far are they on this Martin property?
That one is actually kind of on hold right now because of egress issues. I kind of put a stop to that one. Because you can't have more than 30 homes or 30 residents on a dead end. And because of all the ponds and wetlands, they're clusters of homes or residents being built, and they don't have egress to get out. And so they're waiting until Grandis Pond is ready to improve the parkway all the way through to where they have a second way to get out. So those two will probably be starting about the same time.
Yeah, we need to fire a letter off quickly.
so we will draft a letter, if that's okay, and then we can send it out for the board to review and
Yeah, let us take a look at it.
at least throw a warning flare up for them to see.
Thank you.
All right, any other new business? Thank you for the report. Is there anything else
Thanks,
you
Joel.
want to or need to add? No, I think it's great to have you here. And since you're sort of stationed here, right? I would hope that
Yep.
future meetings, you can just keep us updated as to what's going on, and if there's anything we can do to help you, not just be the bad guy.
Because this is only part of the county, right? You got,
This is just Blaine, and this is District 21.
This is just Blaine and Birch Bay, honestly.
Yeah.
yeah.
there's other developments going on east of here, but they're all smaller. I was trying to hit the major ones that are gonna really impact the 2 fire stations here.
All right, thank you very much. Correspondence. The main one I would like to just read into the record part of it. So District 4 received a letter from a resident on North Shore. Stating factually that when the North Shore Volunteer Fire Station was sold and survey and rating went out and re-rated that neighborhood, they went from a protection class 6 to a 9. And this homeowner renewed their insurance, and it was a 400% increase in their homeowner's insurance. Kind of tried to tell people that if the levy didn't pass, that there would be other expenses that may be even larger than had they approved the increase for the levy. But it's almost like you have to feel the pain before you understand it. You know, this person pays a lot of property taxes. Unfortunately, they didn't break down how much they pay to the fire district, because my taxes went up $1 a month for the fire service. So I don't think you can blame your huge tax increase on what the fire district is getting. But I think we're going to see some of these letters from Weiser Lake area once we're re-rated, and maybe even other areas. And I don't know, do you know how, let's say we are able to at some point staff the Simiamu station, how soon can you get re-rated for people, i.e. like, hey, there wasn't a fire station staffed here, now it is staffed?
I don't know about going up, but I know going down, we started getting phone calls within six months. So I would assume that if we told WSRB that, hey, we now have a X person staffed station in this location, that they can update their database, their profile, and I would hope that people would start seeing a reduction in their cost of
3 months for.
And
It was about 3 months. Sorry, I apologize. It was about 3 months when I was chief of District 8 when they rated Gooseberry Point a 9, and it was re-rated back down to a 6. And it was about 3 months before they started seeing the ripple finally go back down in their insurance rates.
When do they do the re-rates? Every 5 years?
Mm-hmm. The re-rates every 5 years. The big
They're gonna be here, what, July?
July.
Sorry.
No.
So it would probably be in our best interest if we did improve anything to let the homeowners know to contact their insurance companies and say, hey, look, you might get a reduction if you let them know that we haven't actually improved something.
Well, we would,
if you vote for the levy,
likewise, we'd reach out to WSRB and let them know that, hey, this
right.
is the station that you had listed as unstaffed last time is now staffed.
Right. Just, I just, yeah, I think we're going to get a rash of letters here in the near future. But
I don't know, we're kind of different because we still sit at 5 miles of a station.
Where I'm expecting them from is the people that live east on Van Dyke Road. That's some of those bigger homes. That's the spot where we're going to get dinged. But I actually think that looking at the map and drawing a 5 mile radius between 69 and 75, we're actually pretty good. So.
all right. Announcement, board meeting July. I just looked at my calendar and realized I have a conflict that day. So can we move the July meeting from the 21st to either the 19th or 20th? I know you're out of town, right?
I'm gone all week.
How about the rest of the board? 19 or 20?
20 works.
20
It's
works?
20 or Friday or?
20 is a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah,
So it'd be
that's
a-
fine.
A Tuesday or Wednesday in lieu of Thursday. Scott,
Tuesday.
Tuesday the 19th works for you?
Yeah.
But not the 20th?
So far, yeah, 20 will work.
I'm good with either.
I'm okay with either. You tell me.
I'd prefer the 19th myself, if that works for everybody.
Works.
That works for you,
That'll
Scott?
work for you.
That works.
Does that work for you? You guys, that work for you? I guess
That'll
we should ask the staff. If,
Turns out if it's Monday through Friday, anywhere from 8 to 5, I'm pretty much good. So
Yeah, but you never, you just never know. All right, so I am going to put the,
At 11. Tuesday.
yeah, is that work, 11 o'clock for everyone?
Yeah.
Commission meeting, station 61, the 19th at 11. Okay. Next meeting, agenda items. Do you think we should have a draft letter by then?
Mhm.
Talk about that. Do we want to just keep Deputy Fire Marshal on as an agenda item? Are you okay with that?
That'd be helpful, I think.
That's very helpful.
Is District 4 annexation still gonna continue?
Updates from-
Well, I guess if you have an update from
I have an
the city of
update,
Bellingham, yeah, let's keep that on unfinished business. EMS levy, BLS funding, I think we can just table that, until you get some
Well,
news.
I'd like to put like I said, I'll write you a condensed version of the levy plan. And I'd like to have, like I said,
Oh,
a
okay,
resolution
so,
in
well,
support.
okay, so how about under, new business, the, levy support?
Yep.
Letter, or however we're gonna do that. And then maybe you'll send out that information prior to the
Sooner rather
packet,
than later, yes.
right?
And then I think we're having just an update on recruitment, where we're doing in the hiring process would be good as well.
Okay. Anyone else have anything for the meeting?
The one letter you mentioned, did someone respond to that from District 4?
Commissioner
What?
Cooley was going to respond to that, but before this letter was sent, Chief Ward actually spoke to the gentleman on the phone.
Okay, good. I just don't want them to feel like we're ignoring the letter.
No.
So. All right. It's District 4's.
How did that
I
conversation?
think very well. I encouraged him to write the letter
Okay.
to the board, as well as to contact his state representatives, because I explained to him that the WSRB is so antiquated that he still has the same response from the Britain Loop station that he did having nothing there, yet he's being penalized for having nothing there now, where he still has the same service.
And in fact, with the mutual aid, he's got better service, so.
So it was, I tried to explain the whole mutual aid side of things with him as well, so that there was clarification that he doesn't just get an ambulance and an engine if there's a fire that way. So his letter's a little bit,
That's all right.
that's all right.
Yeah, it's good to have that. Did you need a minute?
If that's okay with you.
Sure.
I just wanted to say on behalf of 106, you know, thanks to you guys, the board, for, you know, the relationship, showing the commitment, and special thanks to Chief Vanderveen. Just, I mean, he cares and it shows, and it's just really appreciated. So just wanted to thank everyone.
Good. Well, I hope the message gets out. Hopefully, when the July paychecks come out, the message will be seen. You know, we really do want to take care of the employees. We're just trying to figure out how to fund it. So,
Appreciate it.
but I know that we're coming into a heavy workload season, and we just want everyone to be safe and healthy. So,
Thank you.
all right. Anything else? If not, we got an executive session, don't we?
Yep.
All right. So we need
10 minutes.
10
15?
minutes. Always 15.
15. 15.
Never happens in 50.
All right. So who all's
Just the board and
board
myself.
and you?
Yep.
Okay.
Trying to keep.
So sorry, we're going to break for executive session for 15 minutes, and there will be no action afterwards, correct?
Nope, there'll be no action taken.
All right.
Two of them sign, both of them, please.
Sure.
You know, that is really the big issue, is antiquated
16.
system that
I know.
WSRB uses.
You'll send me a
Yeah, so
copy?
you got a station that's